Hello, I just wanted to tell you about these two dreams that I had that are very, very significant. So I pray that everybody will listen to this video in its entirety because I'll try to, not make it so long because they are kind of lengthy dreams, but there's so much being said in it. I don't want to skip over nothing and I don't want to miss anything because God is really saying a lot through this, and it's very informative and it's very important for the times that we're living in now. So I do pray everybody will stick with me and listen to this in its entirety because it's very important and it's informative. It tells us a lot, especially, with exposing the enemy's plans and the things that God's doing in our life in this time that we're in now. But in the first dream, I was with these people and I was helping them milk the cows. They lived on a farm and they were milking cows. And I had three big bags, and I was filling the bags up with milk. And then I asked the guy, I said, could I have some of it? And he said it depended on how much they got because that's how they made their living, off their farm and off the things that they sold on their farm. And I told the guy, I said, we have to be careful because there's people out there that will deceive us into giving them things for free, and to deceive them into giving them the milk for free instead of paying for it, and then they'll lose money. And they won't get the money that they need for it. And that's where, the enemy comes in, with deception, which we know that. Especially in the times we're in now, he's causing a lot of deception, and a lot of people, sadly, are getting deceived into believing his lies and the lies of the enemy and the things that he tries to deceive us and keep us from what God has for us, and we can't allow him to do that. And the next part of the dream has to do with witchcraft. And this is where the scripture comes in, and I'll read the scripture after this. It's in Numbers 13:33. And I went to the front door of the house, and I opened it up, and all these dogs and cats started running in. And I was going to stop them, but I didn't because there was too many of them. There was so much of them that I didn't, think that I could stop them. And this is where the scripture comes in, because we can't, see ourselves as grasshoppers, as these people did, as they did. We can't see ourselves like that. And I'll read the scripture out of the New Living Translation. In Numbers 13:33, we even saw giants there, the descendants of Echinok, next to them, and we felt like grasshoppers, and that's what they thought too. So basically it's saying, what you see yourself as is what other people are going to see you as. They're going to view you the same way as you view yourself. If you see yourself as small and as a grasshopper, as a nobody, then other people are going to see you that way. So you can't see yourself like that. You got to see yourself through God's eyes and the way that he sees you. Not the way that people see you, because that's not, it doesn't matter how people see you. It just matters how God views you, because he created you, and a lot of people aren't going to see you the way he does. And sometimes, a lot of times, they're not able to. People of the world are not able to see you as God does. They're not able to see the potential and the talents that God has given you as he can. Non-believers can't. They just can't. Sometimes can't see it. A lot of times they can't. So don't view yourself as a grasshopper. See yourself as God sees you. See yourself as a king and priest, like God says in his word. We're his kings and his priests, and we're his people that are called by his name. And we have to see ourselves the way that he does. Don't see yourself as small and as a nobody. See yourself as a king and a priest in God's kingdom, because that's what you are. And this second dream is really lengthy, but I'm going to try to put it in different parts so it won't be so long. But I don't want to skip over too much of it because I really don't want to skip over any of it because it's really informative, and it's, like the other one, it's saying a lot. There's so much being said. Sometimes it's hard to condense things and make them not so long, but I'll do my best to explain it the right way so that it won't take too long. But in the second dream, I was with this couple at their house. I was staying at their house with them, and my mom was there with us, and she was visiting with us, and we were taking care of her. We were caring for her, so we'd have to go back and forth from her house to our house because that's how we got her things that she needed and took care of her. And she was sick. She had, I don't know what she had some kind of sickness, and she was sick, and we drove her home, and then we came back to our house, and at first I went into the bedroom when I was watching TV, and then I went into the living room, and I was talking to them about my mom and how she was doing, and how and how her condition was and her situation was, and what we were going to do about it. I was trying to discuss with them what, how we were going to go about caring for her, because she wasn't able to drive anymore. She had to give it up. She had to quit driving, so she couldn't care for herself, and she couldn't do things for herself anymore. And I was telling them I was worried about her because of that, and I was just really upset about it, and talking to them about what to do and how to care for her. And I was with them, and we were all talking about it and discussing how we were going to do things. And I was upset, and then I started crying. And then the woman told me, she says, I know what you need. She says, I know exactly what you need right now. And then this guy came over, and he hugged me and was holding me close to him, and he hugged me. And I realized it was Jesus. It wasn't just some man. It was Jesus. And I felt safe, and I felt comforted, and I felt, I felt like, it's hard to explain, but I just felt like I was safe and I was comforted, like you feel like everything's going to be okay. And that's how I felt. And then that's what Jesus told me. He said, everything's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. It's going to work out for your good. It's not going to be the way you see it, but you can't see it that way. And that's such a powerful message, though. And I know I spoke on it many times, but it's so powerful. I mean, just the way that he was saying it to me was really, really powerful. And it really resonated with me a lot, because, with situations that we get in sometimes, we tend to see it the wrong way. We tend to see it, in the natural instead of through God's eyes and the way He sees it in the supernatural. And that's what I was telling the people. I told I have to make myself see this God's way. I cannot view this situation, in my own eyes. I have to view this situation in His eyes. I have to see this the way He sees it, because that's how I'll gain the victory, and that's how, I will be able to get past this and get through it, as if I see it His way. And that's so true. That's what we have to do in every situation we get in, not just some, but every situation, every circumstance that we face. We have to view it through God's eyes, and a lot of times that's not an easy thing to do. When life hits you between the eyeballs, sometimes out of nowhere, sometimes it's hard to see it God's way. We tend to automatically just see it in the natural, and to see things as impossible. And that's exactly what the enemy wants, because that's what he plays on. That's his whole thing, is to make you see something that's hopeless, instead of seeing God there and seeing Him being able to help you through it. He wants you to see it as hopeless, so that you'll give up, and you'll miss everything that God has for you. But we can't allow ourselves to do that. And that's what I was telling those people. I said, I have to make myself see this God's way. And that's what we have to do with every situation and circumstance we're in. We have to make ourselves see it His way. We have to take our eyes off of the situation in the natural, and basically just see it in the supernatural. See it through His eyes, through His lens, through the way that He sees things. And then we'll get the victory. We can't take our eyes off of God, especially in the times that we're in. We can't take our eyes off Him, because there's a lot of situations and circumstances that are coming at us left and right. Life is hitting people out of nowhere, and they're not knowing what to do or how to do it or nothing, and they're panicking. And we can't do that. We don't have to do that, because we have Jesus. We don't have to worry about that. And that's the part where God was hugging me and telling me that it was going to be okay. And that's what He's doing with you. He's hugging you, saying, no, don't look at this your way. Don't see this in the natural. See this my way. See this through my eyes. See this as me giving you the victory through this. See this as you gaining the victory, and you winning this battle. The battle don't have you. You have it. You have the authority over it, and in His name and through Him, we have the victory over it. And that's how we have to see things, no matter what we face. And I know a lot of times it's not easy. I know I've faced a lot of situations myself that, many, many times, that it's not easy to see things like that. But that really, that dream, with my mom really hit home with me, because that was basically how, when she was here, before she passed and went to be with Jesus, that's basically how the situation was. She was sick, and my family was trying to figure out how to care for her, and it was basically stuff that's already happened in my life, and God was just showing me, how to view things. Don't view it like that. Don't view it as hopeless. Don't allow it to move you. Don't allow it to take your eyes off of God. Keep your eyes on him, and he will get you through it no matter what it is. No matter what circumstance it is, no matter what situation it is, he will get you through it. You just have to allow him to, by keeping your eyes on him and not allowing, your circumstances and situations to move you. Just be moved by him and what he says in his word. Don't be moved by nothing else. And God will give you the victory in it. And the victory is yours. You just have to claim it, and you have to receive it by faith, and you have to, just don't take your eyes off of God. Don't take your eyes off of him. Keep your eyes fixed on Jesus, and he will get you through it. But I just wanted to share this with everybody real quick, and just to give you some hope and to give you some, encouragement, also, because I know a lot of people are facing certain situations and circumstances that ain't really easy. Life can hit you, like I said, it's hit people out of nowhere, and, a lot of things have happened in the last, over the last month in this world, and sometimes it's hard to see the brighter side of it, but, we can do it. We can do it. We just have to change our mindset. We have to change the way we see things. We have to change how we see it, how we view it, how we react to it. We have to change all that, because that depends on the outcome. And I've been in a lot of situations like that where, how I reacted to something depended on how long I stayed in that situation, how long that situation was there, was before me. And before I got out of it, it depended on how I reacted to it. And a lot of times that's how it is. It depends on how we react to a situation, how we handle it, what's our attitude towards it, how are we gonna handle it. And a lot of times we don't stop and think. I mean, we're human. A lot of people do that. I've seen it, not just believers and non-believers. I'm just talking people in general. Putting that aside, I'm just saying people in general do that. They have a tendency to see things in the wrong way. But, when we have a relationship with God as we do, we don't have to see things that way. We can see things God's way and through his eyes. And, I see things as he sees it, so that we don't have to be moved by it. We don't have to be worried by it. We don't have to be, we don't have to allow it to control us, more or less. We can see things through God's eyes, and that's how we need to see it. But I just wanted to get this quick word to everybody and bring some encouragement to you and help you to know that God's with you. He's never going to leave you. He's never going to forsake you. So you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to be concerned. Just hand your burdens to God and put them at the foot of the cross and allow him to get you through it, because he will. He will get you through it. Guaranteed. If you allow him to do it, he will get you through it. But anyway, I will put the link to my GoFundMe account in the description box of this video, along with my email for those who want to have prayer requests and want to email me. Feel free to, because I answer my emails all the time, and I will get back to you with it, and keep you uplifted in prayers. I always do. And I will also leave the link to my GoFundMe campaign for those who want to sow a seed in my ministry and to what God's doing. And until next time, I will see y'all then. You have a blessed day. Bye-bye.